Up next on The Bottom Line, how well does Montgomery County pay its high-level managers? A new report reveals some interesting numbers. The county celebrates its residents who served in the Vietnam War, and an emotional graduation for some top dogs. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. We begin this time with a report from the Council's Office of Legislative Oversight that takes a look at the salaries of high-level managers in the county and compares them to those in other jurisdictions and at the federal level. And the results of that report caught the attention of many on the Council. The report provides the Council with data on those salaries for Montgomery County, the federal government, and 24 other local governments. 10 were within the Washington, D.C. and Baltimore region, and 14 were outside of the region with a high cost of living. Montgomery County has the third highest salary for director positions at $206,685, 15.5% higher than the average for all the jurisdictions combined.
I would put many of our department directors, compare them favorably with any other similar position in the United States. But over time, since the salary scale was eliminated in 1997, I believe we have drifted too far in the direction of paying more than we need. And OLO's data indicate that my suspicion was correct.
Montgomery County's average director salary was the highest in the D.C.-Baltimore region. Baltimore County was the second highest, but 9.5% below Montgomery. Fairfax County's average director salary comes in at 17.9% below Montgomery. However, Fairfax has 39 director positions compared to Montgomery's 27.
Government should be a tough negotiator on behalf of the taxpayers. Yes, we want the very best people, but we shouldn't pay more than we need to.
Veterans Day is this month, and recently the county hosted an event at the universities at Shady Grove to honor those county residents who served in the Vietnam War. It's estimated more than 13,000 Vietnam veterans are currently living here in Montgomery County today. The ceremony was hosted by former CBS anchor and war correspondent Bob Schieffer, and it was attended by hundreds of veterans and other officials who are there to recognize those who fought in that war.
The reason it's important to me is because I never got this when I got home. It took me 3 days of contemplating whether I was going to wear my uniform or not, because I'd heard all kinds of stories about guys getting spat on and, cussed out and all this other stuff when they got called baby killers and whatnot. But then I just said to hell with it. I risked my life over there for almost a year. And I was proud of my country, I was proud of my uniform, so I wore it.
The 13,000 Vietnam veterans of Montgomery County were honored in a special tribute, a tribute long overdue. Those attending the event included former prisoners of war who survived the notorious Hanoi Hilton, and one of the most decorated women in U.S. military history. And this special honor and gratitude program at the universities at Shady Grove in Rockville was the first major event honoring our county's veterans since the war ended some 40 years ago.
I want to welcome you to what is a very, very special day. The war in Vietnam ended 40 years ago, and it is fair to say today's gathering is long overdue, because our purpose here is very clear and very simple.
This was an opportune moment to thank these courageous county residents, to express our deep appreciation to them. We have 5 former prisoners of war who served in Vietnam, who were imprisoned for many years, some of them as many as 7 years in prison. We're glad that they're home, that they've made such a substantial contribution to our community, and we do our very best to honor their service every day.
Now these fellows in front of me, Fred, Mike, Hubie, Larry, I know what every one of them is thinking. I'm glad it's you up there, Everett, not me. I was the first one shot down in the Tonkin Gulf as a result of the Tonkin Gulf incident. So I was the first American occupant of the prison complex that we later called the Hanoi Hilton. And as the fellows used to come in later on and join, others began to join us, I'd often get asked, how does it feel to be the first one here, Ev, at this dismal place? And I would always try to tease them and say, well, if you wanted to get a good room, you had to come early.
And along those same lines, there is a local nonprofit here in Montgomery County that is working to heal our veterans who return from war with physical injuries and emotional trauma. The Warrior Canine Connection uses dogs to help veterans reconnect with their lives. Recently, at the Germantown campus of Montgomery College, a special ceremony took place where these canine helpers graduated on to a new life. It was like any other graduation, but instead of caps and gowns, these 14 graduates wore collars and vests. The Montgomery County-based Warrior Canine Connection was officially recognizing these top dogs who, after 2 years of training, were moving on to a new phase in their lives.
Today is where everybody comes together that's been involved in this process, that from those who have come out and volunteered their time to pet the puppies, to help socialize them, to the puppy parents who've taken these dogs into their homes for the last year and a half or 2 years. And now they're coming to this event to formally hand off these dogs to the veterans who are going to be assisted and have their lives changed from the companionship and the help that these dogs are going to provide.
The Warrior Canine Connection was created in 2011 after Yount became convinced dogs could play a big role in the healing of the many veterans who are returning from war with physical injuries and mental trauma. The program enlists recovering wounded warriors to train the service dogs for fellow veterans, and there are also puppy parents who look after and train the dogs for their future forever homes.
Yeah, we actually have some of the dogs who are graduating as military family support dogs. These are not just a pet, these are dogs that come with the training, which really has a great impact on the families by training the dog and learning how to deal with the challenges sometimes that a dog can provide. They have to learn to be patient and learn to use praise and learn to regulate emotions when this new dog is treating them like a substitute teacher and acting like they can't hear. So the process of learning these concepts in a non-threatening way, it's really an experiential parenting education model.
We met some of the graduates when they were first starting out on their journey to become a service dog.
This is Stanley. He's named for Corporal Stanley Giza.
And with his tail wagging, Stanley walked across the stage with his puppy parents Roger and Barbara Giese to be presented to Jesse Graham and his family. Stanley will be a mobility service dog for Jesse. Though they met and began training just 2 weeks ago, Jesse knows Stanley will make all the difference in helping him get through the day.
The amount of help he's going to be is just amazing. I mean, the things they've taught him, and shuts off light switches. My wife sent him upstairs today with my shoes for me. Watch it, buddy. And the companionship. The fact that I get to bring him everywhere and he gets to hang out with me, and it really is amazing.
It's really exciting. All of it is just the amount of independence that he is, game, just driving the dog. He can, get things, help when he falls out, help get things that he drops. It's amazing. It's overwhelming.
Councilmember Craig Rice was on hand for the big day. The county is a supporter of the Warrior Canine Connection and its mission. Rice says the service it provides is priceless.
When it comes to the wraparound services that are important to these returning veterans, an organization like this is doing a phenomenal job at helping to address some of the mental challenges and some of the physical challenges that we're seeing with some of our returning veterans, whether it's dealing with post-traumatic stress or whether it's dealing with some of the physical ailments that they have. These dogs being able to assist them and help assimilate them back into our community is what's so important.
Derek, another sturdy black Labrador, also graduated and is now a member of the Jorgensen family from Oklahoma. We met Derek when he was a puppy as well. He was named for Sergeant Derek McConnell, who succumbed to his war injuries while he was being treated at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. His puppy parent, Janet Lally,
he's going to be a service dog for the Warrior Canine Connection.
And Derek's mother, Siobhan Fuller, formed a special bond during Derek's first 2 years of life.
She is my friend. I made her a promise the first time that, we got together that I would bring Derek up to her house to meet her family and everything. And we went to New Jersey, and every time she's come to town, we try to get together. And when we went to New York, the last time I was going to have him, she was there. So we went on the ferry, went to see the Statue of Liberty, and said, hey.
I have a forever friend here.
Absolutely. To getting him to this point where he's going to make such a great difference in his warrior's life, is just, my heart is full.
Derek's legacy lives on. His name will not be forgotten. And to be able to see somebody carry my son's name and be able to give the comfort and the peace that Derek himself so needed so badly after his accident, it's a wonderful day. And Puppy Derek has a wonderful family, and I'm very excited.
Though it's a bittersweet goodbye as Derek moves on to his new life, for the Jorgensen family, it's just the beginning.
This dog is hope for us. Cody got injured 3 years ago in Afghanistan. He's diagnosed with a TBI, traumatic brain injury, as well as severe PTSD. He doesn't sleep well. Our whole world has been flipped upside down. We don't go out in public. We don't go to baseball games, football games. Going out to eat in a restaurant is a huge ordeal for us. And so this dog is hope that we can kind of get a little bit of normalcy back in our life. We have a 3.5-year-old daughter, another one on the way, and so it can be pretty stressful in a household with living with a veteran with PTSD. And so hopefully this dog can help with the anger issues, depression issues, and just, the man I married 8 years ago, kind of bring him back to life a little bit more.
There is no denying these are amazing dogs with an extraordinary ability to have a life-changing impact on the lives of so many. If you would like to get involved with the Warrior Canine Connection, you can visit their website for more information. Well, that wraps up this edition of The Bottom Line. We close the show this week with a visit to the Mum Show at Brookside Gardens that will run through the end of this month. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.
Give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.